Well, I mean, to call me a redneck, to quote Charlie Daniels, I mean, to call me a redneck, I reckon that I am. And it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. I think we're all guilty of judging the book by the cover before we read the book. Um, it's life, right? I mean, we're told when we make a book, right, to create a captivating cover of the book, right? So that way we catch somebody's eye. I think we all try to live our life that way. And strangely enough, I think that creates a lot of misconceptions too. I grew up in Floresville, Texas. I was born in San Antonio, grew up in Floresville. Rural South Texas, good people, salt of the earth people. Hardworking dairy farmers, cattle ranchers, few oil people back in the day. Not like it is today. It's kind of a suburb of San Antonio. Back then it wasn't. It was a small farming community, few thousand people. Bigger than a lot of towns in Texas, but small town. I think in the end, a piece of shit is just, you know what they say. When you're, be careful what you call a piece of shit because it could be what's staring back at you in the mirror. No, I didn't have a bad life growing up. I didn't have a bad life at all. I mean, I guess people would call us white trash, call us hillbillies, sand hillbillies. You heard that one a little bit. I didn't have a bad life. My grandmother and my father were great. My mother, I think, still suffers from a lot of mental issues and a lot of trying to overcome some demons in her life that she hasn't quite grappled onto yet. Um, but I think all in all, my mother's had a hard life, a very hard life, but um, in a lot of ways. But then again, I think I personally had a pretty good life growing up. Yeah. Yeah. Went to school. I can't say that opportunities in Texas, especially rural Texas, even today, for a lot of kids is all that. Um, I think the politicians try to rule these school districts in Texas, and they try to rule the mindset of the local government. And while we're big on local control, the state government tries to influence the local government a lot, and a lot of that's the school district. So I think kids, especially in rural Texas, are very limited to their opportunities. I can't say that growing up in Floresville, Texas in the 90s, I had a lot of opportunity. We barely knew what the internet was. Computers were kind of taboo and foreign. We didn't have a lot of access to that kind of stuff. Uh, where a lot of other kids did, and they were forward thinking. Their school districts and their communities were very forward thinking. Where I come from, they weren't very forward thinking in that aspect. Healthcare was tough, still tough in Texas, especially in rural Texas. You have this idea of Texas, okay? There's these two sides of Texas. You have what the world wants you to see, and then you have what really is. What really is are two very different things. Very, very different things. The world that Greg Abbott